What's up, guys? Theo here. Welcome to the It Factor MMA. Breaking down the first fight of the main card here. We got Brunno Ferreira going up against Phil Hawes. So right now, Phil Hawes is a plus 100 underdog, and Brunno Ferreira is a minus 130 favorite. And this is one of the lines on this card that shifted initially from when the lines first came out. Initially, Phil Hawes was actually a favorite, and Brunno Ferreira was the underdog. And I was ready to take a shot on Brunno Ferreira as an underdog, and I'm still going to take a shot on him as a favorite here because I do think he's going to win this. Brunno Ferreira obviously is coming off of a knockout loss against Nursultan Ruziboyev. That was a pretty nasty thing, like punch he got clipped with that dropped him out of nowhere. I remember Nursultan was the underdog in that fight, and people were not expecting him to do that well because they thought he was a fraud. And before that, Brunno Ferreira actually knocked out Gregory Rodriguez as an underdog. So he himself has, delivered an upset blow before in the UFC, and then he got one done to him, and now he's going up against Phil Hawes, who, everyone who bets on UFC knows Phil Hawes. He's been around for a very long time. At one point in time, he was a very hyped prospect. But the problem with him is he's a glass cannon, man. He's the definition of a glass cannon. I mean, the guy he's extremely athletic, extremely powerful. He's got an amazing physique, and he seems to make good decisions in fights. The problem is that when he gets touched, he just gets knocked out. And the way that he gets knocked out is very telling. He gets clipped by these jabs and stray shots that hit him, and they just barely touch him, and he turns off like a toy soldier that ran out of batteries. I mean, like turns off the way that Woody does in Toy Story when Andy comes walking in the room and he just folds over. That is how Phil Hawes' body reacts when he gets hit with even a clip, a jab, a good stray hit. He completely collapses. These hits that are making him completely shut down, they're not the kind of punches that normally shut fighters down like that. When you see that happen, usually it is a brutal blow, something like what we saw Josh Emmett land on Bryce Mitchell recently. I mean, a brutal, devastating punch that shuts your lights out. That's what you expect when you see someone react like that. Phil Hawes reacts like that when he gets hit with shots that should just bounce right off him with how big and athletic and strong he is. So something is definitely going on with Phil Hawes' chin. I think his chin is what people refer to as cracked, wherein if you listen to Frank Mir, who has a theory that your body basically retains the fact that it's getting knocked out. It knows that you will try to fight the concussive force that is going to happen to it. So what it does is it learns to shut your body down before you take that damage. And who knows if that theory holds any kind of truth. I'm not a physiologist or any kind of expert on the physical sciences or anything like that, or brain science and neuroscience. And I know that most of these MMA guys aren't either. It just seems to be an anecdotal thing. But I mean, you do kind of see the effects of Phil Hawes getting hit, and he completely shuts down. It's really sad because he would be a good fighter, but that's just his kryptonite. And the thing is, he's going up against Brunno Ferreira, who doesn't have the best record so far in the UFC. But the thing about Brunno Ferreira is he has looked very good on the feet. He has a lot of power, and he delivers it seamlessly. He has fast combinations, and he was losing that fight to Gregory Rodriguez, and all he had to do was find one shot. And Gregory Rodriguez also has a really bad chin, but he's got a better chin than Phil Hawes. And I just think that Phil Hawes cannot, even if Phil Hawes has a better technique and takes Brunno Ferreira all the way to the bell, all Brunno Ferreira's got to do is hit him once, man. All it's going to take is one shot from Brunno Ferreira. And Brunno Ferreira, we haven't really seen him gas. I mean, he was still fighting very well in a dogfight against Gregory Rodriguez, and that fight went late. So I don't think he's going to gas and run out of power and lose the ability to beat Phil Hawes. And the way Phil Hawes fights, I think they're going to engage early, and I think whoever clips the other one first is going to go down. But I think that Brunno Ferreira got hit by a sneaky shot that he didn't see coming in Nursultan Ruziboyev. So I don't rate that knockdown as highly as I do the way I see Phil Hawes get knocked down, because Phil Hawes gets shut down, like turned off, like someone turned the lights off in the room, and Brunno Ferreira got knocked down and TKO'd. So give me Brunno Ferreira to find Phil Hawes' chin and shut his lights out once again. All it's going to take is one shot, and I trust Ferreira's combinations and his boxing hand speed. So give me Brunno Ferreira here to beat Phil Hawes by TKO.